Hi, I'm Jane Esselstyn.
I'm Ann Esselstyn.
And today we are going to have a guest talk to us about some things that are probably on all of our minds right now. It is June of 2020, and we're in the middle of this novel coronavirus COVID-19 time, and we're all wondering how we can take care of ourselves, especially as we're all cooking more and more at home. And that can sort of be to your advantage at this time, especially as our gardens grow greener and we are more aware of some things that are solid advice as what we can do.
Note how easily this lacinato kale or dinosaur kale strips.
How we can take care of ourselves in our own kitchen. So, welcome our guest, my dad, Dr. Esselstyn. Come on up, Daddy.
Yes, this is really kind of exciting, though, anytime I'm with you and Mommy. But it's so apparent that there's this tremendous focus on the coronavirus, as there should be. But the public feels, that through using the mask, distancing, generally staying at home, washing your hands, they all seem very helpful. They are. It's been demonstrated that it can be profoundly helpful, but there seems to be something else that's missing. What is it you can do every day, perhaps, to make yourself stronger and more immune to this virus? And that takes us actually into a little bit of history, because nitric oxide was found to be toxic to the virus several decades ago. And that interest seems to have been rekindled by several leading academic institutions like the Massachusetts General and Ohio State. And first, a bit of background on nitric oxide. Remember that where I'm so involved with nitric oxide is because of the fact that all experts would agree that how you protect yourselves against cardiovascular disease is by being kind to your endothelium, which is the innermost delicate lining of all of our blood vessels. And what makes the endothelial lining so remarkable is the magic molecule of gas that it creates, nitric oxide. And nitric oxide has these absolutely remarkable properties and functions that protect us from having cardiovascular disease. Nitric oxide will keep all the cellular elements flowing smoothly like Teflon rather than Velcro. Keeps things from getting sticky. Number 2, nitric oxide is the strongest blood vessel dilator in the body. When you climb stairs, the arteries to your heart, to your legs, they widen, they dilate. Number 3, nitric oxide will protect the wall of the artery from becoming thick and stiff or inflamed, protect us from getting high blood pressure, hypertension. Number 4 is the absolute key. A safe and normal amount of nitric oxide will protect us all from ever developing blockages or plaque. So literally everybody on the planet Earth, whether they're from London, Berlin, Chicago, New York, or Cleveland, Ohio, if they have cardiovascular disease, it is because by now in the previous decades they have so sufficiently trashed, injured, and compromised the capacity of their endothelial cells to make nitric oxide. They don't have enough to protect themselves from making blockages and plaque. But the good news is that this is not a malignancy. This is a completely benign foodborne illness. And once you can get patients to never again have anything past their lips that is going to further injure their endothelial capacity to make nitric oxide, then the endothelial cells recover, make enough nitric oxide. So you not only can halt heart disease, but we often see significant elements of disease reversal. Now, how does this all relate to the COVID-19? We know that younger people are more protected from COVID-19. And what do younger people have? They have huge stores of nitric oxide. Did you ever hear of an 8-year-old who had a heart attack? No. But as we go up in the years, By the time you're 50, even if you're beautifully healthy, your endothelial production of nitric oxide is half of what it was when you were 25. When you're over 80, you've lost over 70% of that nitric oxide production from the endothelial cells. Now, as far as COVID-19 is concerned, what they're doing at the Mass General in Ohio State is that when people come in with the diagnosis of coronavirus, they are exposed to 30 minutes of inhalation of nitric oxide 3 times a day. And the other study they're doing is they're looking at healthcare workers and giving them a 30-minute inhalation of nitric oxide as they come to work and when they leave work. Why is this so important? Because how does the virus enter you? It enters through your nasal passages and your bronchial tubes into your lungs. So if you can have your nasal passages be absolutely chock full of nitric oxide, then perhaps you've got yourself some protection. How do you do this if you're older and your endothelial production is reducing nitric oxide production? You begin to make your own nitric oxide. How? By green leafy vegetables. How? If you're willing to eat these 6 times a day, when you're chewing green leafy vegetables, wonderful things begin to happen. I like to have my patients chew it after it's first been boiled in water 5.5 to 6 minutes so it's nice and tender.
Or steamed.
Or chopped.
Yeah, exactly. And after that's been heated, then they anoint it with several drops of a delightful rice or balsamic vinegar, because the acetic acid in the vinegar has been shown to restore the nitric oxide synthase enzyme found within the endothelial cell that's responsible for making nitric oxide. The second benefit from chewing the green, it restores the capacity of your endothelial progenitor cell production from your from your bone marrow. Now the third thing that is so key, when you're chewing a green leafy vegetable, you are chewing a nitrate. As you chew the nitrate, it is going to mix with your facultative anaerobic bacteria that reside in crypts and grooves of your tongue. Those bacteria are going to reduce that green nitrate that you're chewing to a nitrite. When you swallow the nitrite, it is your own gastric acid that is now further going to reduce the nitrite to more nitric oxide. So literally, if you do this 6 times a day, from dawn to dusk, you are absolutely restoring nitric oxide, the very molecule, the deficiency of which gave you the heart disease. But even without heart disease, you can eat these wonderful vegetables. No added expense, and really no hideous side effects. Because when you think about it, our nasal passages are loaded with endothelial cells, so that if a virus tries to get in and it encounters endothelial cells that have this rich production of nitric oxide, you may be well offering yourself additional protection.
Oh,
Against COVID-19. And
Now, there are a couple of caveats.
okay.
We don't like people to have too much of any antibiotics or toothpaste with fluoride, because they will destroy those beneficial bacteria in your mouth. And be careful about antacids, because antacids will reduce the amount of acidity in your stomach, and you will not be able to convert the nitrites to nitric oxide. So, ladies, once again, what a pleasure.
Hey, thank you. And look, we are prepared to fortify our endothelial cells with the leafy greens, ready for salad and ready to go. And this is good for soups and stews and burritos, but ready to
and
go.
all from Jane's garden.
And this bag's been used 5,000 times. We just put it in here and in the fridge, and we're good to go tonight.
Now I can't wait for lunch.
Well, all right. Hey, thanks so much. Bye-bye.